Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 268 based on novel. So let's start. Continue ahead and destroy the realm under the rain celestial realm. I'll give you a body. Help you escape. This was the information expressed in the ancient god language. The confusion in the moongazer serpent was replaced by clarity and the roar slowly subsided. It actually charged ahead of the giant wood. From a distance, the moongazer serpent's giant body and its countless swaying tentacles looked like the waste clouds that shrouded the stars, and it was no less imposing than the giant wood. Li Yunzi looked at Wang Lin. He felt a hint of suspicion after seeing Wang Lin's change in expression when the sound came from the jade. Wang Lin had cultivated for thousands of years and was extremely cunning. He wouldn't let anything escape, so he let out a wry smile and said, "I didn't expect that beast to hold such a grudge. I just borrowed it to kill the Yao family and yet it still remembered me when it saw me." Li Yunzi nodded and said, "After this battle has ended, don't forget to come to me to see the remaining battle scrolls." With a respectful expression, Wang Lin said, "Junior knows." The Shengong family ancestor had not spoken until now when he suddenly said, "Shu Mu, take out Shengong Hu's Dao." Wang Lin silently pondered. A moment later, without hesitation, he touched between his eyebrows and Shengong Hu's Dao flew out. The Shengong family ancestor grabbed it and looked at it before he put it away. He no longer paid any attention to Wang Lin but instead looked ahead. The moongazer serpent opened the path at an extremely fast pace. Its countless tentacles spread out and wrapped any alliance cultivator it encountered. The cultivators that were caught would scream and their bodies would wither until they became mummies. Then the All-Heaven cultivators would go to these mummified cultivators to take their bags of holding and treasures. The giant wood followed closely after the moongazer serpent toward the northern region. The moongazer serpent and giant wood were extremely fast, far faster than cultivators' treasures. Their speed was comparable to teleportation. They created constant sonic booms as they whistled through space. At this moment, a giant war began in the northern region. Originally, the Alliance cultivators, who were led by one of the four saints, Black Fiend Devil Saint, held great advantage. Destroying the western region had killed a large amount of All-Heaven cultivators and also cut off their retreat. This caused the All-Heaven army that charged into the northern region to have no backup. As a result, the Alliance held the highest chance of winning in the first big battle between the two star systems. However, Master Flamespark's counterattack and the 18 Lu Fu immediately reversed the situation in the northern region. The Alliance cultivators were suppressed by the 18 Lu Fu. This wasn't even the biggest problem was that the isolation of the All-Heaven cultivators was broken by the giant wood. As a result, the All-Heaven cultivators were no longer isolated. They only needed to last until backup arrived, then the All-Heaven side would hold the absolute advantage. Black Fiend Devil Saint's expression was gloomy. How could he let Master Flamespark do as he wished? However, Blood God was someone with a very high cultivation level. As the two fought, the collisions of their spells were earth-shattering and the rumbles echoed across the stars. This created a large amount of ripples. Any cultivators affected would immediately die. "Fellow cultivator, don't wait for me to make a fool of myself, just attack." As Black Fiend Devil Saint wryly smiled, he waved his right hand. Large amounts of fishy-smelling wind appeared. As his hands moved, the fishy wind turned into a giant whale before his body. The giant whale opened its mouth and mercilessly inhaled. The origin energy in the world was sucked into the giant whale formed by Black Fiend Devil Saint like crazy and then attacked Blood God. At the same time, a pillar of purple light descended from above. There was no end to this pillar, and it seemed to have appeared out of thin air. A laugh came from the pillar of light and a person walked out. This person was middle-aged and wore a yellow robe. He looked handsome, and as he came out, two dragon illusions circled around his body and roared. "Master Flamespark, I have known your name for a long time. This old man is one of the new saints of the Alliance, Cloud Dragon Demon Saint." Master Flamespark's eyes lit up, but he didn't attack. However, the ancestors of the cultivation families from ancient times moved. All three of them charged out toward the Cloud Dragon Demon Saint. The four saints of the Cultivation Alliance are all at the mid-stage of Nirvana Shatra. Blood God's cultivation is undetermined, and he is able to battle one on his own. The other three fellow cultivators are only at the early stage of Nirvana Shatra, so they must join forces to barely hold on. However, these people aren't the most powerful people in this battle. Master Flamespark's eyes lit up, but he didn't look at the yellow-robed Cloud Dragon Demon Saint. Instead, he stared at the void before him and calmly said, "The Alliance's four saints never move alone. Ji Xiantian, why do you still hide yourself?" As Master Flamespark spoke, he moved forward and appeared next to the 18 Lu Fu. Then his two fingers mercilessly pointed forward. A burst of sharp laughter echoed across the stars. Countless cracks appeared where Master Flamespark pointed at, and a hand as white as jade came out. This dazzling palm collided with Master Flamespark's fingers. Bang! The entire northern region shook and killing intent flashed across Master Flamespark's eyes. He quickly retreated several steps. Another figure was also knocked back from the crack, and this figure looked like a woman. As this person retreated, they immediately screamed. "Master Flamespark, you still have the guts to return." This voice was too sharp and harsh. It also contained unimaginable origin energy fluctuations. As the voice echoed, the All-Heaven cultivators all trembled. Some of them coughed out blood as their origin energy left their bodies, and they immediately died. Even one of the 18 Lu Fu suddenly collapsed under this sharp scream. Endless origin energy from the world came from the collapsed cultivators and even from the collapsed Lu Fu and entered the woman-like figure. "Ji Xiantian, I haven't seen you for many years. You're still as effeminate as ever." Master Flamespark's eyes were calm and he waved his right hand. Endless flames immediately surrounded the area, and as they spread, all the All-Heaven cultivators were pushed more than 5,000 kilometers away. Although it was 5,000 kilometers, it was still within the range of the Lu Fu. Just like this, the Great War began. Large amounts of Alliance and All-Heaven cultivators began their life and death battles. This was a chaotic battle. If one was slightly careless, their body would collapse and their origin soul would be extinguished. Originally, the All-Heaven cultivators were no match for the Alliance cultivators. After all, one side was recovering from shock and the other side was prepared. However, under the effect of the Lu Fu, the situation was immediately balanced. As a result, it was difficult to see who was going to win. However, on a small scale, the Alliance held the advantage. Bursts of magic treasures filled the area. In the chaotic battle, both sides had casualties. In the distance, an Alliance cultivator coughed out blood and retreated. But before he even retreated 100 feet, his chest was pierced by a random flying sword. Then his origin soul flew out and was immediately affected by the ripples of a spell, causing his origin soul to collapse. 3 All-Heaven cultivators' eyes were red as they activated their cultivation to the max to control magic treasures. Just as they were using a spell, a ray of light penetrated the 3 of them and they died one by one. The ray of light turned into a person, and he had a gloomy expression. Just as he was about to continue after licking his lips, there was a flash of blood light. He let out a scream and then his whole body turned into blood. It was Blood God and the Black Fiend Devil Saint passing by during their battle. Every time someone died, the blood would be immediately sucked away by the 17 Lu Fu. Some of the origin souls were also sucked in by the 17 Lu Fu because they were too damaged. Cultivators were dying at every moment. The two sides had tens of thousands of cultivators gathered here. This battle could be described as earth-shattering, and large amounts of blood were sucked in by the Lu Fu. Endless flashes of magic treasure light flashed by and endless roars coupled with mournful voices filled the area. This had become a land of death. Large amounts of blood and origin souls were absorbed by the 17 Lu Fu, making them even more demoic. As the battle became even more fierce, a thunderous rumble echoed and countless cracks appeared. Even the cold wind from the cracks wasn't able to put out this heated war. Instead, it made this chaotic battle even more intense. At the center of the battlefield, Master Flamespark's flame was monstrous, and from afar, it seemed to light up half of the area. Opposite of him, Ji Xiantian gave off an endless chill that created cracking sounds. They weren't loud, but everyone in the surrounding battlefield could clearly hear them. Along with these endless crackling sounds, countless glacier appeared. They were extremely imposing and shot straight up. Ji Xiantian was surrounded by countless glacier that were like sharp thorns pointed at the sky and faced off against Master Flamespark. Master Flamespark, we let you escape in the battle tens of thousands of years ago. Today, without Zhongshuanzi, I'll kill you here and now. Ji Xiantian's sharp voice was like an icy blade. It was filled with endless chill and killing intent. This Ji Xiantian looked like a very enchanting woman. However, if one looked closer, one would find that this person's chest was flat, and although small, his Adam's apple was there. He was apparently a man. Master Flamespark's eyes were calm as he raised his right hand and reached out toward the void. The world's origin energy gathered like crazy and formed a ball of white flame in his hand. He looked at Ji Xiantian and slowly said, "When I left, I said that if there was a day I come back, I'll make the Cultivation Alliance extinct. Who cares if blood fills the sky after I die?" At this moment in the western region, with the Moongazer serpent in front and the giant wood behind it, they closed in on the northern region. On the giant wood, Wang Lin looked ahead. There were flashes of uncertainty in Wang Lin's eyes, especially when he looked at the Moongazer serpent. Ancient godchild, there was an almost indiscernible flash of cold light in Wang Lin's eyes. Master Flamespark didn't throw the white ball of flame but ruthlessly crushed it. The ball of flame collapsed and turned into countless phoenixes. They let out bursts of cries and shot straight toward Ji Xiantian. Ji Xiantian waved his arms and let out a sharp laugh. The endless glacier that had formed behind him began to rumble as they moved forward. The two didn't stop, they began displaying various spells. Origin energy fluctuated as if heaven and earth were going to reverse, and these fluctuations quickly spread. The entire northern region entered a chaotic battle. Master Flamespark's eyes lit up and he waved his right hand. Several celestial realm fragments appeared and he shouted, "Celestial wheel." With these words, the celestial fragments around him began to rumble and rotate around him. A storm was suddenly set by this. As the storm swept by, all the cultivators affected were forced to retreat. Ji Xiantian's expression became gloomy as he raised his hand up and shouted, "Law of Ice." In an instant, endless cold energy spread like crazy from his hand. Under the endless rumbles, countless glaciers shot out and rapidly spread toward Master Flamespark. Ice. Killing intent flashed across Ji Xiantian's eyes as he pointed at Master Flamespark. At this moment, a powerful chill appeared around Master Flamespark. This chill contained law, and in the blink of an eye, it formed layers of ice that trapped Master Flamespark inside. Just at this moment, the roar of the Moongazer serpent echoed across the stars. The roar of the Moongazer serpent shook the world and seemed to make it shake before everyone's eyes. This scene caused the expressions of the Alliance side to change. Black Fiend Devil Saint and Cloud Dragon Demon Saint, who were battling against Blood God and company, became gloomy and quickly retreated. Ji Xiantian let out a cold snort and his eyes lit up. Instead of backing up, he charged straight ahead at Master Flamespark, who was trapped in the ice. When he got close, he pressed his hands down on the ice without any hesitation. At this moment, a destructive force charged into the ice. This force mysteriously stacked together and charged toward Master Flamespark. Just at this moment, inside the ice, Master Flamespark's eyes revealed a cold glint and he revealed a smile. The cultivation he had hidden began to erupt like crazy and increased from the late stage of Nirvana Shatra to an incredible level. You broke through. Ji Xiantian's expression changed greatly and he was about to retreat without hesitation. Cracks appeared on the ice that trapped Master Flamespark and suddenly covered all the ice. Then, in the blink of an eye, the ice shattered and the countless pieces shot out in all directions. Master Flamespark laughed, took a step, and merged with the world. He didn't move, but the moment he merged with the world, his origin energy spread out like crazy. At this moment, the origin energy in the world began to vibrate violently and directly interfered with spatial bending. At the same time, Master Flamespark's hand formed a seal and a red flame spread like a raw dragon. Shortly after, Master Flamespark spat out a mouthful of Essence Origin energy. It landed on the rotating celestial fragments, which completely blocked Ji Xiantian's retreat. The celestial fragments trembled and rotated 10 times faster than before. It charged out and trapped Ji Xiantian inside. The storm formed by the rotating fragments roared and Ji Xiantian's expression became gloomy. His hand pushed outward and a large amount of origin energy gathered. He was about to break out. At this moment, Master Flamespark stepped out and a large amount of flames surged out from his body. He pointed with his finger and the flames rushed out, surrounding the storm. Some of the flames fused with the storm, and now it looked like a fire dragon. Just at this moment, in the distance, the Moongazer serpent arrived as if it was teleporting. It looked extremely ferocious with its countless tentacles. Bursts of roars echoed. For a moment, both sides stopped attacking and retreated as they stared dumbfoundedly at the scene before them. Black Fiend Devil Saint only took one look at the Moongazer serpent and felt his scalp go numb. He let out a wry smile and quickly retreated. As for the Cloud Dragon Demon Saint, he revealed a look of disbelief. Ji Xiantian was startled. His origin energy surged like crazy and he wanted to rush out of his siege. However, how could Master Flamespark let him do as he wished? Master Flamespark's arms stretched out and he injected more origin energy inside the flames to trap Ji Xiantian. In the distant stars, what followed directly after the Moongazer serpent was the giant wood. It was extremely large, and it suddenly changed directions, moving toward Master Flamespark and straight at Ji Xiantian. The giant wood hadn't even gotten close when a strange force shrouded the world. Endless rumbles came from it and it started moving even faster. Ji Xiantian's pupils shrank. He had no way of escaping quickly. In this moment of crisis, both of his hands formed a seal and he pointed at his body. Each time he pointed, a blue vortex appeared. In an instant, 13 blue vortexes as blue as the sea appeared around his body. After these vortexes appeared, they immediately enlarged and entered Ji Xiantian's body. After the first blue vortex entered his body, a curtain of blue light appeared around Ji Xiantian. After all 13 vortexes entered his body emitted a blinding, blue light. There were a total of 13 layers of blue light. This was Ji Xiantian's power of law. The color of the absolute limit of ice was blue, and during Ji Xiantian's life, he was only able to condense 13 layers of blue light. He had always thought that if he could condense the 13 layers into one, his cultivation might have a breakthrough. The moment Ji Xiantian's 13 layers of blue light appeared, the giant wood arrived. The ripples caused by the arrival of the giant wood were indescribable. At this moment, everything disappeared, and the only thing that remained was the momentum of the giant wood that could extinguish anything in its path. No person, magic treasure, item, not even a cultivation planet, could stop its impact or even deal the slightest bit of damage to it. This giant wood was able to support the arrival of the ancient celestial realm. And now everything among the stars must collapse before it. The giant wood arrived with an unimaginable impact as if it wanted to poke a hole in space. It instantly closed in on the storm Master Flamespark had used to trap Ji Xiantian. It was very simple without any fancy technique or any flashes of spell. The giant wood directly smashed into the rotating celestial fragments. Bang! One of the fragments collapsed and its pieces quickly spread. In an instant, the few fragments in the vicinity of where the giant wood crashed also collapsed. The collapse of the fragments was no weaker than the collapse of a cultivation planet. The force of all the collapse fell on Ji Xiantian, who was trapped inside. The endless impact turned into a violent storm that pushed in all directions. With just the word "stop," the origin energy inside Wang Lin's body moved to his right fingertip and entered the void. This time, Wang Lin didn't use the little remaining celestial origin energy he had left, only his own origin energy. It was as if countless lines had spread across space and entangled themselves around Ji Xiantian in an instant. This was the weakest Ji Xiantian had ever been in his entire life. All 13 layers of blue light had collapsed, so he had to leave his as soon as possible to find a place to recover, or else he would without a doubt die. He had already been a decisive person. He had exploded 4 layers of blue light just to create an opening to escape. He had to report the fact that Master Flame Spark's cultivation had broken through the late stage of Nirvana Shatra to Song Xuanzi. Master Flame Spark's cultivation hasn't reached the third step, but he is far stronger than late-stage Nirvana Shatra cultivators. He must have reached the peak of the second step. Just as he was about to step into the crack, Ji Xiantian felt countless invisible threads wrap around him. His right foot, which was making its way into the crack, couldn't help but slow down for a moment. A binding force with only this much strength was something he normally wouldn't need to worry about. He only needed to move a bit to break these threads and even cause the caster's origin soul to shatter. However, at this moment of crisis, if he was slowed for just a little bit, the result would be beyond imagination. Ji Xiantian's expression changed greatly. As for Master Flame Spark, he was startled for a moment, but then ecstasy filled his eyes. He stepped out without hesitation and arrived near Ji Xiantian. His right hand pressed down and landed on Ji Xiantian's body. This forced Ji Xiantian out from the crack. Just as Ji Xiantian was forced out from the crack, the moongazer serpent suddenly opened its mouth and mercilessly swallowed. All of this happened too fast. At almost the instant Ji Xiantian was forced out, the moongazer serpent arrived. Ji Xiantian let out an angry roar when he was being swallowed by the moongazer serpent. The moment the stop spell fell on Ji Xiantian, Wang Lin's body trembled and he coughed out a large mouthful of blood. It was as if he had been hit by a powerful force, and he quickly backed up. The origin energy in his body almost collapsed. The difference between his and Ji Xiantian's cultivation was too large. At this moment, the force caused popping sounds to come from all over his body and a large amount of blood mist gushed out. Wang Lin let out a miserable shout as he retreated. Senior Master Flame Spark Jr. has done his best. The reason he did this was to improve his own achievement before everyone. This would make Master Flame Spark owe him a great debt. At the same time, it was big reason for him to receive all heathens' full protection. This was a true expression of sincerity. With this achievement, no matter where or when, he, Wang Lin, would be the highest profile hero in the war between the two systems. No one could erase this point or forget it. If Wang Lin were to fall into a difficult situation and all heaven didn't help, then it would have a very negative effect on all heaven. If that happened, who would give it their all in the battles that followed? Wang Lin had calculated all of this. With the combination of his cultivation and the body of an ancient god, perhaps if the other party was at their peak, he might have died to the backlash, but given that Ji Xiantian was seriously injured and escaping, even if he failed, he wouldn't die from the backlash. Sometimes, when there are no more paths left, you have gamble and create a road. At this moment, Wang Lin was opening up a road for himself in the future. In truth, Wang Lin's guess was very accurate. If he didn't have the body of an ancient god, he would have died. However, with the body of an ancient god and Ji Xiantian being in an extremely weakened state, he was only injured. As Master Flame Spark laughed, his body flickered and he charged straight at Wang Lin. In almost an instant, he arrived near Wang Lin's constantly retreating body and his palm landed on Wang Lin's back. An unimaginable powerful surge of origin energy suddenly rushed from Master Flame Spark's body into Wang Lin's. It immediately stabilized Wang Lin's origin energy and got rid of his injuries. In addition, the powerful origin energy that entered Wang Lin's body was cut off by Master Flame Spark, so it all remained inside Wang Lin's body. At this instant, Wang Lin felt the origin energy explode within his body. His origin soul opened its eyes and absorbed the origin energy like crazy. He felt his own strength climb like crazy. In the end, his cultivation reached the peak of the early stage of Nirvana Scrya. He only needed comprehension in his domain to become a mid-stage Nirvana Scrya cultivator. This time, Master Flame Spark didn't hold back and gave Wang Lin an unimaginably great fortune. It was too difficult for second-step cultivators to increase their cultivation level. Aside from comprehending their domain, they also had to absorb enough origin energy. Just this would consume countless years. Master Flame Spark withdrew his hand as he looked at Wang Lin and laughed. Good. 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 Shumu, you have attained a great achievement. Ji Xiantian was one of the 4 saints of the Alliance. Back then, he was ranked 9th in the Alliance. You have achieved a great merit. All heaven and I will remember this. Master Flamespark let out a satisfied laugh. This Ji Xiantian was one of the people who hunted him back then. This sudden change in scene made the surrounding cultivators look on with strange expressions. In particular, Li Yunzi and the Shengong family ancestor looked at Wang Lin differently now. Li Yunzi's eyes revealed admiration and he nodded at Wang Lin. The Shengong family ancestor had always been cold, but right now he revealed a smile at Wang Lin. As for the other cultivators, the black-robed old man and the youth had a complex gazes, but even more so, they admit their defeat. If it was them, they definitely wouldn't have had the resolve to do this. There was also that woman in the palace dress. She now looked at Wang Lin with a hint of interest. She was already beautiful, so now that she showed this kind of gaze, it was extremely attractive. Xu Mu, after this war is over, not only will this old man return your thunder beast, I will also gift you a defensive treasure. With this treasure, aside from a few select people in the Alliance, no one else will be able to threaten your life. Master Flamespark smiled as he charged ahead at Black Fiend Devil Saint and Cloud Dragon Demon Saint. With a calm expression, Wang Lin activated the origin energy in his body. He immediately felt his own strength return and he took a deep breath. He had gambled on the right move just now. The giant wood was still charging into the northern region battlefield and the Alliance cultivators were being pushed back. When Ji Xiantian was devoured by the Moongazer serpent, all the Alliance cultivators were shaken and their will to fight had diminished greatly. The Moongazer serpent roared like crazy and its tentacles swept the area. Any cultivator that was touched by the tentacles would let out a miserable scream and be sucked dry. The Moongazer serpent was too strong. Black Fiend Devil Saint and Cloud Dragon Demon Saint were both constantly retreating. Both of their minds were shaken and they no longer had the will to continue to battle. They were about to flee. But an impact no weaker than the giant wood suddenly approached from the distance in the northern region. Countless towers, each one tens of thousands of feet tall, charged over with hundreds of cultivators standing on each. Their powerful killing intent was enough to tear the nearby space. From a distance, the stars were filled with these towers. There were no less than 100 of these cone towers that emitted sharp whistles as they rushed over. A powerful pressure suddenly came from the distance. Aside from the 100 towers, there were also 4 giant cultivation planets. There were 4 giants tens of thousands of feet tall carrying the cultivation planets. These 4 giants each had an axe mark on their foreheads. They were giant demon clan members. There were 4 people floating above the cultivation planets carried by the 4 members of the giant demon clan. 3 of them were old men with the air of celestials. Their might was clearly felt without any need for them to show anger. The last person was a woman. She wore a blue dress and her hair was hanging over her shoulder. She held an 8-petal lotus flower and her phoenix eyes were filled with killing intent as she looked ahead. The appearance of these Alliance cultivators attracted the attention of the surrounding cultivators. The Alliance cultivators were surprised and quickly rallied as they retreated. On the All-Heaven side, Blood God and the 3 ancestors coldly looked over. Master Flamespark stepped out and waved his right hand, sending a sea of flames flying ahead. At the same time, the Moongazer serpent let out a roar and its tentacles extended. As for the tens of thousands of cultivators around the giant wood, they immediately charged out and used their magic treasures. A great war was about to unfold. Just at this moment, the woman in the blue dress calmly said, "Greeting, Senior Wudo-chan." After she spoke, a long laugh came from the distance and a black cloud rushed over from the same direction. There was a person standing in the black cloud. This person was middle-aged, had a square face, and wore a purple robe that showed his might without him expressing any anger. At this moment, black mist around him churned and a thunderous rumble echoed. "Master Flamespark, I have long known your name. Today, do you dare to battle with me, Wudo-chan?" The middle-aged man's words were extremely arrogant. As he spoke, the black mist under his feet shot out toward Master Flamespark. Master Flamespark had no memories of this Wudo-chan. It was obvious this person had joined the Alliance after he left, But Master Flamespark didn't underestimate this person. The aura this person gave off made him very serious. If you want to battle, then let's battle. As Master Flamespark's cold voice echoed, he stepped out and entered the black mist. This black mist suddenly rose up and began to churn violently. Bursts of fire spells shot out and created explosions. Seal this moongazer serpent. The woman in the blue dress calmly spoke. The hundreds of towers immediately shot out, creating a whistling sound as their speed was 100 times faster than before. They were like swords that shot directly at the moongazer serpent. Wang Lin secretly realized that things were going bad. It seemed all heaven was the weaker side. He silently moved back on the giant wood, but he immediately felt a fierce gaze on his body. It was the woman in the blue dress who was looking at Wang Lin with a complex gaze. This video will end here.